Alright, so we're going to start with a series of videos here that will finish our analysis of environmental impact in the Slippery Rock Creek watershed. And in this first set of videos, what I'm going to be doing is looking at the index count as a density. So in this basic process that we're going to deal with is a spatial join of our merged point features with polygon features that represent the small sheds. What this gives us then is the enumeration unit is the small shed, and based on its area in square kilometers we can produce an enumeration unit density. So let's take a look at what we're going to do here and why we're doing it. In the active data frame I have 4 different feature classes. First of all, I have the overall study area, and again I'm just adding that one because what I want you to understand is what that represents. If we think about it, this polygon feature will be used as the bounding polygon for everything else we're going to do. Now in this first part we're not going to use it, but it is important to understand what it does. The next piece is our focal study area, and here I have this as a single crosshatch red, and this is the dissolve of the 2 small sheds in the northeast corner. Again, in this case all we're going to be using it for is to evaluate whether these 2 small sheds differ significantly or quantitatively from the other small sheds once we've done our count. The other 2 that we have, again, are our enumeration units. Here they are. These are the small sheds. And if you'll notice that in their attribute field, they have a field that is area in square kilometers. So that's going to be our normalization field. And then to that we will join the count of the point features, which are in this case all oil and gas wells. They came from 2 different feature classes. So let's do this real quick. Again, because the small sheds are our target, we're going to select the target enumeration units feature class. We are going to then select from that the joins and relate option. Select join, and again, so we're joining based on the spatial location, and what we are interested in is we are joining to our enumeration classes the point features. Now because there is no attribute field that is a magnitude field, we're not going to select anything here. We are simply going to produce a count output. So again, what I'm going to do is change the output location, and in this case we're going to put it back into my desktop, my final feature class. And here is our geodatabase. And in this case, because I actually already have this one, I'm going to rename it in a similar fashion. This is the index of the enumeration area. Okay, and so I'm selecting that option, and I'm going to just put a 2 at the end, produce the output. Click Save, and now select OK, and we'll see, and again, the spatial join will run through each of these, and in a sense what it's doing is assigning to each of the point features its location, counting those, and providing that as a field. So now if we open up this feature class, we look at its attribute table, at the end of this what we notice is a count field. You also notice because it's in a geodatabase there are 2 additional fields, shape, length, shape, area, and these are calculated in native units. In this case UTM is the coordinate system and projection, so they would be in square meters. Now the other thing that we have to do in this case to make it meaningful is I need to sort the count field, because those enumeration units that don't have any point features in them are going to be assigned null. And we don't really want null, we want zeros. And so again, what I'm going to use is my interactive selection option. Select all of the null values. I'm going to right click on the attribute field, select field calculator. You'll notice that they're highlighted. I'm going to move this off a minute. You can see where they are in our map. And I want the count now to be equal to 0. I'm going to click OK. It will calculate just those that I've highlighted as opposed to the entire field. Notice there are my zeros now. I'm going to deselect everything. And now the last piece for this is that I want to classify these. So again, I'm going to right-click, select properties for this feature class, and I want quantities. My value field is going to be the count. This is how many wells of any kind were in the enumeration unit. And then I want to normalize it by the area in square kilometers. And so there you go. Now what I would encourage you to do is, in terms of our labels, we want to change the properties of our labels because we don't really want them to have that many decimal places. In this case, 1 decimal place is sufficient, so I'm going to change that to 1 and hit OK. And you'll notice now our labeling, it makes much more sense. And again, because I'm interested in how and where those two focal enumeration units fall within the ranking, I want to change my classification to a quantile because I want to see whether they fall in that top 20%. I'm going to hit OK and apply. And here we go. Now here are my two focal ones, and in fact they don't fall at the top. One of them falls in the second to the bottom, in the top 40%, and in the 40th, yes, between 20 and 40% of the enumeration units, and then the other one falls in the top 80%, not in the, in the top 60%. So now we can see kind of how our data lays out. We know we're the highest, the top 20% right here. Most of the next 20%, and remember I'm saying 20% because we did quantiles, 5 categories, equal number of enumeration units. Most of the next ones fall here, and the lightest ones, or lowest density, fall here. Okay, that's it for this one, and the next one we will jump into our quadrant analysis.